I'm here with Nasser Sultan from Married at First Sight, Season 5. Hi Nasser, how are you?
How are you? I'm very well. Thank you for having me. It's
having
very, very good to do this and you know, talk about what goes on behind these shows.
Please.
And how it works and you know what you're watching at home. It's not what happens on the TV. You know.
Did you want to elaborate on that?
Well, there's a casting system where, I mean, they could cast 100 people, and they only pick 3, and the rest go, no, it hasn't got a story. No, they want a story. For example, you know, left outside a mosque or a church in a basket, right? And you're a child. That's a good story. We'll have this person. Do you know what I mean? That's what they want. They don't want normal people, to be honest.
What was your story?
Well, my story was short, Egyptian, feisty, you know, OCD, very clean, never married, no children, and is not a drunk. Do you know what I mean? That's a good story. I mean, think about it. For my age, never married, no kids, never divorced, no exes hanging around. That's very rare. You know, very rare. And sort of advanced, like in a way of, you know, I go swimming and surfing and go out with friends and blah blah blah. So that's a good story. And because the Middle Eastern background.
Yep.
And I've never had a Middle Eastern background.
And I hear that you want to change that.
I do. I want to change it. Every show is becoming predictable. It's the blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, the tattoos, the fake this, fake that. The guys are tall, you know, stomach muscles, gym junkies, blah blah blah. Well, I want to change it. I want to see a bit more diversity, a bit more, you know, whether it's Chinese or whether it's Japanese or whether it's Russian, whether, you know, that's what brings this country together. It's the diversity. It's not the blonde hair, blue eyes anymore.
Yeah, and because Australia is known for its multicultural.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, if you've noticed the other shows that people are like that have been on there, like Big Brother recently, they're the ones that get kicked out first, because it's, you know, and they keep the ones that are good looking, Aussie, whatever. If you remember Big Brother this year, they had that dark girl, the dark skinned girl that always wanted cups of tea. Well, she left and people turned against her from the start because she was different. Then they had the Vietnamese guy or the Chinese guy, and they said, oh, he's too bossy, he's that. They got rid of him too. So who wins? Who wins? Some friggin' model, right, with tattoos all over him and been in every magazine. That's who wins. Now, that's not Australia. If that's what represents, people should really put on Netflix and put on, you know, Stan and watch that. Don't worry about reality TV because it's not reality. That's what I'm trying to change. To say, change it, go out to the suburbs and pick people that actually want to be on the show. Okay, you can have drama, but people that want to be on the show, you know.
And you think you would make a great bachelor?
I'd be the best. For a start, it'd be fun. Number one. Number two, I would actually ask the person about their background, because if you look at The Bachelor, no one asks if the girl or the guy's got brothers, sisters, cousins, where do they live, what do they do for a job. It's just coming in, give a rose, give a kiss, trying to make some sexual thing and leave.
Do you think you can be the next bachelor?
No.
Why?
Because I'm too old. They won't. They've already said to me, basically, you're too old. Like,
is that going to stop you?
It's not going to stop me, but they said, you know, they have an age limit between 25 and 40. First it was 25 to 35. They've upped it now to 40. But still, really, you know what the norm is? I'll tell you what the norm is. 35, 36, 37, 28, they've probably got a kid, divorced. They've had a marriage breakdown. This is the norm. The norm is not some girl sitting on the beach with a bikini on and, you know, wants to really meet somebody and to go on a show to meet somebody. I mean, there's dating apps for that stuff, and that's where it makes the show a bit more legitimate. I think that's the word, legitimate, than having these young kids on there and then they leave the show crying and carrying on.
Would you consider going back on Married at First Sight?
No. These dating shows now, I forget about it. I mean, after our season, they're not the same. I wouldn't go. Well, it's now it's more trash. Now it's, you know, a radio announcer, ex actor, ex footy player. They're people that have already done something to go on those shows. To me, no, I wouldn't go on Married at First Sight. I think there's more and better shows, you know, like Home Improvements or something, you know, or Gardening Australia. Gardening Australia is a good show. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun and wholesome, and you get to go see Greek families and Lebanese families. What are they growing in their garden? Tomatoes, cucumbers. You know, they're the shows I like, you know, something fun.
So obviously you were the only Middle Eastern actor on Married at First Sight. I don't recall.
Yeah, none.
Other seasons?
None. I was the first one,
How
and that's
did
why I
you-
got recruited.
That's why?
Yeah.
Did they tell you specifically that that's why we want you?
In a roundabout way, you know, like they wanted to know the background, your mother, your sister. And that's why I reckon I got in, because it was in that favour. And you know, if you look at the others, we had a Sri Lankan girl on there. We had a Sri Lankan girl. We had a Barbie doll girl from Queensland that worked for Virgin. We had a millionaire, just a so-called millionaire, Mr. Ice Cream Man. You know, sort of thing. We had Tal, the Aboriginal guy, which again that's going to take me 3 hours to explain that one. And we had the Aussie, the tradie. Every show you will notice now it has a tradie. Every show. You know what a tradie says to me? When someone says to me, I'm dating a tradie, or there's a tradie on the show, two things it says to me. One, bogan, and two, he goes to work, does the plumbing, whatever, comes home, has a pizza, goes to bed, goes to work, comes home, have a pizza. That's what tradie means to me. There's no vision. I don't care how much money you make.
You didn't know that they say tradies get the ladies.
The tradies get the ladies for a short period of time. Then the ladies realise the tradie's dumb. Right? And he likes cricket and watches footy all day and plays Nintendo and loves The Simpsons. Loves The Simpsons. Who loves the friggin' Simpsons? No one.
Okay.
So what sort of show is The Simpsons? You sit down with a tradie to watch a decent documentary, he's not into it. He's not into it.
Kick back.
He just wants to kick back with a beer.
Yeah.
You know, well, I'm not that person. You know? I kick back with a Lebanese coffee.
Yeah.
Cheers! And a damn good coffee too.
Tell me about the experiences that you had being the only Middle Eastern Egyptian person on reality TV. Like, I don't recall anyone at all, like even on the kids' TV shows.
None. None.
What did you experience? Racism, hate?
After the show, experienced racism.
So nothing during the show?
No, nothing, because you're sort of locked away. It was so extreme that people, you know, because I didn't reject her, I just wasn't into her. You know, and it wasn't because she had alopecia or, you know, she wore a wig or whatever. And I didn't even know really she wore a wig, and it didn't worry me.
Yeah.
But it's just how they turned the story around from being on the honeymoon to being for a month after the honeymoon, like after they showed that episode and stuff, for about 3 weeks, I was, no word of a lie, Australia's #1 male, because I accepted her with alopecia, right? I had letters, I had women crying, sending me messages going, have you got a brother? Do you have any, come and say, I will marry you tomorrow, you are the most amazing man. My husband looked at your story and he's completely changed, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But then when they turned the story around, saying that I rejected her because of alopecia, which I didn't, then the hate started to come.
Yeah.
You see how they manipulated it? And then people wondered why it didn't work out. They were the best couple, it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out because she drank every bloody night, number one. Number two, depressive, never wanted to do anything, even a day at the beach and say, hey, jump on my scooter, let's go to the beach. Oh no, you go, I'll stay at the hotel. Just make sure you be back by 12:30 so we can get ready for the filming. And you know what? I go, okay, I'm going. I'm not going to stay at this friggin' hotel all day.
And
you know?
you were there to look for, to find someone.
Well, if not finding, at least to get on with someone.
Yeah.
Like to get right through it and enjoy it and experience, you know, something. Let me tell you, this is going to sound crazy, but there's nothing like your own kind. And I've been around many times. Nothing like your own kind, your own background. You know, whether it's Greek or Lebanese or whatever. Those people understand each other.
Yeah.
You understand the culture. You understand, you know, the religion.
Did you argue when you found out that they put you with an Australian woman?
I didn't argue. I argued later when she was, you know, have a bottle of wine and then carry on and then to the other girls, and the other girls would to her about me, saying, oh, he's not treating you right, you should be doing this, he should be doing that, blah, blah, blah. And they're questioning me during the experiment. And I'm going, I'm just not into her. Oh, and there's a secret. Do you want to know a massive secret? This is a massive secret. I was the only one and this never been said before, I was the only one that never had sex with their wife. And everyone else did except me. And that's why she was upset.
So does this stem from all the gay rumours as well?
That came after, because it came out that I didn't really fancy her and I didn't sleep with her, then the gay rumours came out. And you know what? Look, you know why the gay rumours came out? I'll tell you how. Because I moisturise. Right? I look after my skin.
And there's no shame in that.
No, I look after my skin. I pluck and groom and clean, and my house. I mean, the camera people, every time I used to come to my house, it was immaculate. I used to make them take their shoes off, all that sort of stuff. And that's why the gay room. Oh, he must be gay. He's not into her. Blah blah. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
I just didn't fancy her. And if you don't fancy someone, you can't sleep with them. People ask me, so what happens at night? Like sharing the same bed? Yeah, they'd be like over there, and I'd be over here with clothes on.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd walk around like half naked, blah, 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 But I said, I'll go through it. Maybe things might change. At least we might get on as friends. We couldn't even do that.
Are you still in touch?
No. Oh my God, no. She sees all my stories though. I reckon she's a bit jealous that, I've lasted with media and still well known
Yeah.
to this day.
How did it make you feel? Like, did you feel like you wasted your time going on the show?
It became a job, like you wake up in the morning, you do the same thing, you film for 12 hours, you come home, you don't have time to eat because you're so tired, blah, blah, blah. It became like monotonous, and you're answering the same questions every time. I wanted to go right through to the end, but even friends of mine were saying, leave, like you need to leave, like don't say the end, she's going to crucify you. And believe it or not, the guys from the show that I was with, all the boys, they were saying to me too, they were saying, if you go to the end, she's going to crucify you. She's already said that to the other girls, because, you read the thing at the end, like why you're going to stay or why you want to go. The last commitment ceremony, as they call it. And she had it all written out that she was going to say, you're this, you're that, you're no good, you're this. She had it all done, and I sort of got a whiff of it. Yeah. So the week before, I said, no, that's enough. And I think she wanted to stay, but she had no choice. It's funny because when we say we leave, they put you in separate rooms. That's it. You pack your stuff, separate rooms. The next day, you got all your stuff packed, and then they interview you for the last time. How was it? Why did you leave? Blah, blah, blah. And after that, didn't even speak. That was it. It was all gone. It was like never happened.
Wow.
Not like, hey, going? Are you okay? A week later, no. It's like never. It's never happened.
Would you have preferred to, like, you ended things on good terms, or it was just impossible?
It was impossible. It was impossible. She was just so bitter, and I think her ego was bruised because of, the rejection and no sex, obviously, no holding hands or whatever. You can't sleep with someone and get comfortable if you don't fancy them. You just can't. It's okay. We all have our ups and downs. We all have whatever. But you got to fancy someone for something to be with them.
Yeah.
You can't just be with someone because they're rich or they've got a BMW or whatever the hell they have. Now I'm looking for the next show. The next show, and I've been on 5 shows since Married at First Sight. And thank God, knock on wood, that I've been on there and I've had that opportunity. And now I've got a manager.
Yeah.
I've signed with the management company. So, hopefully things will pick up. But all that sort of Bachelor and all that stuff, I mean, it's a good way of getting publicity. People go, oh my God, he's going to be the Bachelor. It's like a good talking point.
Yeah.
And to stay like relevant, it's nice to have these funny stories. And there are funny stories. Like yesterday I did a video that I was going to be on Home and Away.
Yeah.
But I'm not. But we filmed it. And I'm hoping that someone from Home and Away or any of those shows wakes up and says, let's just get this guy, like he's been at it, la 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 la.
Or one of Australia's longest running TV shows. It would be nice as well.
It would be lovely to have a change. Even if one episode, I was on Bondi Rescue.
No way.
Yeah, it was on Bondi Rescue coming out of the water. So,
the
whole bikini, yes. Pulling up the bikini, the mankini, I call it the mankini. The Borat bikini. You know what I mean? So look, I think, I don't know, maybe more Lebanese people should apply for these shows. But I don't think Lebanese would do that. I think they should apply. More Greeks, more Lebanese, more different people applied for them. We should have our own Married at First Sight Lebanese way.
Oh my god, could you imagine reading the, he's my dad's
Yeah,
number?
he's my dad's number. That's how it would be. It'd be like, hey bro, what are you doing with my sister, bro? What are you doing? You treat her bad, I'm going to kill you, okay? You know what I mean? And then get in the fast car and do burnouts around Bankstown. Maybe we should have our own way, you know?
You never know.
Well, remember they had the Habibs? Remember that show? That was really, that was stupid. I mean, funny in a way, but really stupid. You know, and even that Paul guy with Housos, I think they should stop that now.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment. You know, we should have our own. I mean, hey, we have arranged marriages still. If you're Lebanese, your parents want you to marry a Lebanese or Egyptian or whatever. Yeah. Why can't we have multicultural walk style Married at First Sight?
Could you imagine the wedding?
Oh my god, it'd be 200
throwing the
people.
plates, the dabke, and everything. Watching your parents as you grew up. Did you feel like that's the sort of love I want, and that's what you're craving?
Well, yeah, absolutely. My parents were equal, you know. My dad used to go to work or whatever, politics, and then my mother used to cook, and you know, she ran the house. And that's how it should be. You run the house, you're in charge of the house. You buy that dress, you know, that's how it works.
Did you want to tell us a bit more about what you're campaigning for?
Cameo is a website where celebrities sign up for or join, and you can request, say for me, to send you a personal video and you pay for it. But the bigger stars, like Hollywood stars, if you want a video from them, it'll be like $10,000. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even the B grade people here that have been on TV, they're still charging $300, $400. Yeah. So I've thought, you know what? I'm going to charge $5. Yeah. One, it's funny that I'm charging $5. Two, it's easy because it's only $5. Let's get Nasser to send us. Yeah, instead of a coffee, you know, let's get Nasser to do a funny video for us. And the money, I thought, you know what? Send it to domestic violence groups. I'm looking at now, and just send it to them and let them have the money. Whether it's $100, $200, who cares? You know.
Why did you decide on domestic violence?
I think there's a lot of stuff happens behind closed doors. I hear it. I do hear it, and I sort of feel it from messages I get from women that send me messages. You know, you look at their profile and you can see that something's going on. You know, or they've had 2 kids and the partner's left and blah, blah, blah. Also, I get some nasty messages from women. So it's not just men that are violent. Believe me, I've had women stalking me, you know, and scary and stuff. I've had 2 stalkings. One followed me to Bali. Oh my God. You know, yeah, one followed me to Bali. So it's men and women, I think, you know. But unfortunately, I feel men don't talk about it as much. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because you're a man. You're not supposed to talk to your mates and say, hey, you know, I feel a bit threatened by this, my ex-partner.
You want to get rid of that stigma.
Yeah, stigma. Just talk about it. Absolutely. Whether man, woman, child, whatever. It's a huge issue in the community. You know, and not just the Australian community. It's all communities.
So you've done about 17 videos?
Yeah, it's creeping up. I just did 3 this morning, so we're up to 20.
Unfortunately, despite you doing something so good for the community and for victims of domestic violence, you're getting hate.
Oh yeah, heaps of hate. Yes, heaps of hate for doing it. They want to know, where the money's going. Is it tax deductible? Is it this named a charity? Well, I can tell you now, people, it's not easy to donate. Tina rang on Friday, and it's not easy. Oh, you got to speak to our media person, blah blah blah. They don't want $100 donation. They want 10,000, 100,000. That's when you know that you'll get recognised. Whether it's tax deductible or not, you don't have to order the video. Yeah. You can just go to any charity and give it to. You don't have to give it to me. But I feel they're doing it for just to stir up trouble, you know. Yeah. And because what's he doing with the money? Is he keeping it? Well, I'm not keeping the money, and I don't care about the $5, and I'm not collecting it. It goes through Cameo anyway. I'm just like putting it out there.
And how do you respond to these haters?
I just explain to them and say, "Have you ordered a video?" And they go, "No." I say, "Well, when you order a video, then I can tell you where your $5 is going. If you haven't ordered a video, don't ask," which is fair enough.
Do you feel like you always have to get hit back?
I don't have to, but I think sometimes if you ignore it, it gets to me. I get so angry about it if I ignore it. So I just hit back and go, you know, blah 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 blah, and then they don't think that you're going to respond,
Yeah.
but I do. And they go, oh my God, he responded. What do I say now? Or sometimes they don't respond back. They just leave it. Then I delete the message. And if it's really bad, I'll block it.
Yeah.
So I don't need that in my life. But lucky I don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
So do not ever take that sort of stuff seriously. Unless it's physical, someone comes to your house, don't worry about it. It's only words.
What did you do to reach this point?
I go, I read it, and I look and I say, thank God I have a partner that's amazing, that I can, tell her, read this, isn't this funny? Look at this stupid person, blah, blah, blah. Then we go surfing. That's how I did deal with it. Or I ring up my friend and laugh and read him, friends of mine say, you're not going to believe this, or forward the message on to people and go, can you believe this? And those people go, hang on a minute, give me that person's details and I'm going to message him back. And it comes like that,
Yeah.
And I got friends that respond on my behalf sometimes, because you can't sit and respond to everybody. I go to the beach, I go swimming, and I think, I'm lucky. If you've taken the time to sit down and write a stupid message for someone you don't even know, right? It means two things. One, you're intrigued by this person, and two, you know who the hell they are, and that's good enough for me. At least they know who I am.
Look, they do say that it says a lot about them than it does about you.
It's private messages too, not like put it on the world to see. To sit down and send a message to a stranger, I find that really bizarre, because I wouldn't. Would you? Really? Would you sit down and go, you know what, I'm going to send this guy on TV a message because I don't like him? Couldn't even bother. I couldn't care.
Yeah. So we should be expecting more cameo appearances.
More cameo appearances. Hopefully another show, maybe next year. I still talk to people from the TV and that radio. I do radio interviews that with a few stations every couple of weeks. One last thing is that what you see on TV, don't believe. 90% of it is bollocks. The other 10% is real. Watch it, laugh about it. Don't watch it and get angry. There's no use. And if you are experiencing any difficulty, whether marriage, relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, domestic violence, yelling, speak to people. Don't hide it. I'm serious. Life's too short. Or call Nas. I'll sort it out for you.
On 04.
Yeah. Yeah, 04, blah, 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 blah.